So welcome to your numerology forecast for September 2017. I've got my little helper here, Luna, this time around because she didn't want to be outside the room, so she's going to sit here and oversee all of our number work. This month in September we're actually in a 1 month. This month I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to help you to work out what your personal numerology month is. And also we're going to have a look at how the global energies could be affecting your personal path. So let's just recap on the global numbers. So we're in a number 1 year because we add 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 equals 10. And then we add the 1 and the 0, which is 1. And September, we're adding the number 9 month to the global year, which we found already is 1. So that equals 10. So then obviously we reduce it down to 1. So we're in a 1 year and a 1 month, and the 1 is obviously about new starts, beginnings, it's about independence, self-sufficiency, it's about being solo, going out on your own, it's about originality, uniqueness, it's about direction, being direct, being frank and being honest. So how would you find out your personal month? Let's give you an example. If you were born on the 10th of April, we're going to add your day, your date of birth, but your day and your month to the current year, which we've already found out is a global 1 year, so we'll be adding 1 to that. We would add the 1 and the 0, which is 1, and we would add April as the 4, so that would be 1 and 4 plus the 1 from the global year 2017. So that would mean that your global month would be a number 6. Let's give you another example. Let's say that your birthday is the 18th of November. And what we're going to do is we continue to add them in separate columns, but if we find an 11 or a 22 anywhere, because they are master numbers, we're going to add them together, meaning that we don't reduce them down. So if you were the 18th of November, you would add the 1 and the 8, it's the first column, that would be 9, and you would leave the 11, and then you would just simply add the 9 to the 11, which is 20, and then we add the 20, which is the 2, to the 1 global year again, which is 3, so you would be in a 3 month. So you're still adding an 11 or a 22, but you're just keeping it together as you add it, because otherwise we could lose master numbers all over the place. And although we're looking at the numbers 1 till 9, the master numbers can have an extra energy, which is important to look at. So now I'm going to give you a run through of your month and how you may be affected by the kind of planetary lessons and the energies that are happening on a macrocosm, and then you, if you like, are the microcosm. This is how you are being affected individually on your path. Of course you might meet other people and they'll be in the same month as you, and you may be picking up on similar themes. And also just a note here that numerology is fun. It does have its basing in science, but we're not talking about the whole of you here. This isn't your astrological signs, this isn't your childhood and your conditioning, this isn't your psychology of you. It's more like a shell or a map. It speaks of a time where a particular pattern or lesson will arise again. And the numbers, as always in the universe, are talking about patterns, timings, but it is useful. And numerology is, if you like, just part of the whole. And for me, it's always been a really useful roadmap, and particularly to see how these patterns in my life, also psychologically, come round. And they seem to come round at the same time every generation or every year, potentially, that I meet the same number. And these months also really help me to know what's coming up ahead, because then I can really utilise them. And for me it really works because the potential there is far greater, because I know what's potentially good to do 1 month and maybe not so much the next. It gives you an understanding of a deeper vibration, and numerology was used obviously alongside other tools for centuries because of its ability to be used for really showing you potentials. So let's go ahead and look at the numbers, and first of all I'm going to show you how I group some things together. I look at the numbers 1, 5 and 7 as the solo numbers. They're the abstract numbers, they're the independent numbers. And then looking at the numbers 2, 4 and 8, they are the work numbers and the industry numbers. And numbers 3, 6 and 8 They are the love numbers, and they're also group numbers. They enjoy hanging out with other people, whereas the 1, 5 and 7 could much prefer to spend time by themselves. So now you've found your personal month you're in by adding up your day of birth to your month of birth and the current number, year 1, so you're just adding 1 to that. If it's 1 to 9, that's cool. If it's 11 or if it's 22 and you haven't reduced that down further because you found one of those numbers, then that means that you can also listen to number 2 for the 11, and you can listen to number 4 for the 22, because they'll be really important, but it means that you've got an extra potential there with the master number energy. So let's say you're in a number 1 month this September. Well, that's quite significant because we've already found that globally we're looking at the energy of 1, and also now we're looking at a 1 in September, which is like the double whammy of this energy, which is about freedom and independence. So if you're in a 1, then that's going to be triple that energy. So the theme there about going out on your own or finding your own path, potentially being by yourself or having a lot of time alone to work things out, you're going to want to really direct things in September. Like anything, when there is a large collection of the same, it can be a gift or it can be a curse. So it's how you use that. And you'll be focusing on something new this month, or there's a chance for you to be able to put in something new. It's about striking out in new turf, and it's about finding some change, which is really well needed now in your life. And this month you want to be able to shake things up, and you'll be looking for some kind of beneficial shift in your life. You may have been feeling you've needed it for a while, or you may have already started that in some way, and this is about how you're just going to negotiate moving that more greatly now into the forefront. Any opportunities for you to be able to try a new activity or to do something in a different way than you've done before. It's a chance for you to be able to say yes and be spontaneous to things that come up for you. And really, it's going to be important for you to have a lot of time so that you can govern things in your direction. It is the pioneer energy, and it's obviously the first of all the numbers. So it's about birth, and it's about really taking a chance and taking a leap into something that brings you a new horizon. The thing about the 1 energy is that you want to remember, though, you are not an island, and especially in September, because as I've said, you've got these other intense backing ups of what's going on in the energies around you in the world. So you've got triple that. So use it for your advantage. So how would things be for you in September if you were in a 2 month? 2 is really the opposite of 1. At 1 we are going out on our own, and it's fresh and it's new and it's about the individual, it's about self-sufficiency. 2, we're looking at how we connect to other people and other things. So it's about union, and in particular it's about relationships. So there could be a little bit of a paradox now, because we've got a lot of this 1 vibration going on, yet you this month are going to be focused on the nitty-gritty of your connections and your relationships and how they're working out for you or not, and where there is strain and where perhaps you need to work on. Your focus this month is also going to be about kindness, about being helpful, and because the 2 is about union, it's about how you are being cooperative with others. It's about how that 2 hands can be better than 1. It's going to make the number 2 in September for you a far greater place for networking. 2 is quite a work-orientated number, quite an industrious number as well. You'll really be able to find that your connections with people could be really useful and could be boosted this month. You may, however, find that there's a push and pull experience going on, because elsewhere you're being asked to step up and to actually be thinking about yourself as an individual. But personally, you're thinking about yourself as a couple or as a partnership or as someone in terms of your family. And remember to think about this very peaceful, almost spiritual warrior-like energy this month, in the midst of this kind of high-powered going out on your own and really striking out as an individual. If September is a 3-month for you, then you will be focusing on pleasure. There will be an emphasis about socialising and wanting to just lighten things up a bit. It's probably time for you to have a little bit of fun, and if things aren't going your way and you're not feeling particularly happy, then you may be asking yourself, what is it that makes you feel fulfilled? What is it that makes you feel happy? And if you're not feeling that way, why is that? And what can be done to remove or move through those things that are making you feel unhappy? It is really a time for you in September to focus on personal satisfaction and how you really express yourself. And your personal expression is so important to your well-being, and you may want to unwind and spend time with other people because, as I said earlier, it is a love number. It's a really curvy and expressionate number. It's very much about how you reveal yourself and how you reveal your feelings. On the back of the wands we've been looking at, 3 is a kind of softer energy and it's sensitive. And the 2 and the 3 share their place in this sensitivity actually. 1 isn't quite so sensitive. The 1 energy is about being direct and actually getting things done. I mean, it's a very, very straight symbol, isn't it? And the 3 is not. After all, the most important thing for you is to be able to feel good and not to get too serious. Obviously, there's not going to be too much room for superficiality because the ones are leading you, but the 3 is really asking for some space for you to just let go and feel content. So if you're in a number 4 month, this also works well with the number 1s. You're in that kind of industry work energy, and 4 is about getting things done. It really is about putting the effort in and looking at the detail. And the thing is, sometimes 4 gets a bad rep because it can be seen as a bit boring and a lot of work. And sometimes with the 4, there may be a chance to actually break through. Now that takes a lot of effort. If you imagine having to be stoic and strong and to be able to overcome obstacles does take a lot of determination. So these are some of the themes that may be following you around over the next few weeks. 4 though is very straight. Whether you do your 4 like that or whether you do your 4 like that, they are all straight lines, and that's in a similar vein to our symbol 1. So really being in that space in order to take those steps, and that really practically means plan and be realistic and be precise and don't be wishy-washy, taking those steady steps and continuing to do it. It's a take action number. And it's very much about getting things done. It's about productivity. As I said, it's about courage and determination. 1 will really serve you well because it will help you to stay focused and head on. The 4 in this larger aspect will also help you to be able to envisage your pathway. If September is a 5 month for you, what does that mean? 5 again is one of our solo numbers, and 5 likes to break out, but in a different way to the 4. 4 is looking for change, but it knows it has to put the work in and it has to keep with its feet on the ground. But 5 kind of almost wants to break out now it's been in the 4 energy. So if you were in a 4 month last month, this month you'll probably be looking for any chance to get on an aeroplane, to be honest. 5 wants change and adventure. At its heart it wants freedom. 5s and 1s will work again really well, but the only thing you'd need to watch out for is potential mistake making. 5 isn't the most practical of numbers, and you may find that there are lots of opportunities opening up, things you hadn't thought of, because you know what the mind's like. It's got its plans, and perhaps especially if you're very goal orientated, and often we're following a way which we think is going to work well for us. Our unconscious selves and our hearts and generally life, our connection to everything that's greater than us has a better plan. Not always one that we would want, and sometimes things come unexpectedly. They're the most successful things that can come up. If something unexpected comes, do be wary and have a little bit of a think about that, but it could be something potentially great. Number 5 is like going along a freeway where you've got loads of different roads all going alongside each other. And it's important that you have an overall vision. So when you added your numbers, did you come to a number 6? Because if you did, then you are also in one of the group numbers and the love numbers. 6 is quite different from the 1 that we're looking at on the planet. 6 is about the group again, and it's a very curvy number. It's to do with your feelings again. It's a very maternal and a paternal number. It's about responsibility. So in this way, it will work well with September, but you could be left feeling a little out in the cold because 1 is considering the individual and 6 considers the hub, family, but also in terms of how you are in your belonging to those around you in your life, really, your friends, your family, your pets, your children if you have any, and your own inner child. So this month, however, it is important to look at how you're feeling in your affections, how loved you feel, how supported and how supportive you are of others, and it really asks the question about love. So congratulate the love in your life, and also make some room for your creative side and for your home in general. Perhaps there's some space for you to be able to spruce up your home or make it attractive in some way. If you've been putting off some tasks or some ideas for new things to do in your home, then this would be a good month for that. Everybody loves the 6 at the party. In fact, the 6 is normally hosting the party. Again, your relationships will be in the spotlight because 6 is a very connective number. In September is 7 your month. This is one of the solo numbers, and 7 is a very internal place. It's a place where over the next few weeks you may be on stop or pause. It's a chance for you to be able to really take stock about what's going on in your life and potentially plan for any more changes. So 7 and 1s also work really well together. Going back to the symbols, they are again straight numbers. So there is precision in the 7, and it's a number that is quite head-based, but it's also soul-based, and it asks you to be able to explore the inner world and look at how you are feeling on a deeper level. It also gives you opportunity to be able to be meditative and to be able to go inward and ask some questions of yourself. Just take some time out this month, or just being. So did you arrive at a number 8? Because if that's your month, then abundance and prosperity is important for you, but also very much this number is about power, how powerful you feel, or if you have any feelings of disempowerment, because looking at those feelings of disempowerment is what can help you to move through them. So really feeling into those and being able to move by taking solid action. That's where the 8 connects to the number 4, because taking action is what's going to help you to be able to get more confidence. So this month, having a tick list, writing down the steps you need to take, being organised is going to serve you really well. The issue of money will perhaps arise, maybe there'll be more coming in, or maybe there's an ability for you to be able to look at how to manage your finances for even better gain, for you to be able to feel secure and happy in your lifestyle really. 8 also works well with the outside energies going on, all connected to the number 1, because 8 is about leadership, the ability for you to be able to step up now and use those strong, influential energies of marching forward and being that pioneer and that leader. They really come in and create a similar connection, so it will really work well for you. And just remember, be thankful for what you already have so that more can arrive at your door. So when you did your calculations, did you find that September was a number 9 month for you? Because if so, this is your chance to be able to let go of what no longer serves you. If you watched my podcast last month, then obviously we were in a global 9 month in August. So this would be your personal 9 month. And that can feel a little bit oppositional to what's going on elsewhere, because the 1 is obviously about new beginnings, and you'll be looking at personally the end to things. So it just being a month rather than a year means that this will be a phase for you to be able to let go of stuff and just let go in general, surrender. It's also a group number, as I've said before, and 9 being curvy is the opposite of the 6. 9 has the world as the globe at the top, so there's an emphasis on humanity and being selfless, whereas the 6 is the pregnant lady, so she has her globe or the womb-like birth energy at the bottom. So for you, the 9 is asking you to be able to tap into that inner wisdom and to be able to surrender to what no longer serves you. And that can be anything. Literally the patterns, the habits that don't serve you anymore, the experiences that you find you're having repeatedly. It can be an opportunity for you also to declutter and to just shed the things which are holding you down. It is a great opportunity for you to be able to move forward when you let it go, because you're emptier and you're more able then to be able to harness this birth which is happening and this new beginning which is going on around you. It's also a great opportunity for you to do healing work, healing on yourself and healing with others, or just being there and seeing if others need your help. So lastly, did you find that you had a master number? If you had a number 11 or a number 22 that you didn't reduce down further, obviously 11 would have been a 2-month and 22 would have been a 4-month. So hopefully you've got some information from those. But if you had the 11, then you've got an extra potential there to be able to really be magnetic. So if you look at the fact that we're in a global 1 year and a 1 month, if you're in an 11 month, that's like 4 ones. That's like crazy 1 energy. And that really does give you the potential to want to move forward with changes. It may even feel a bit pressured, or you may be pressurizing yourself to like leap, ahead. Also be careful and know that it is the small steps which make those bigger changes. There's also potential for you to be able to really see the truth of the matter now, to look into the heart of your life and your being, and to be able to see what really needs changing, to look toward a new horizon of a beginning that perhaps is halfway here or is on the cusp of arriving, and look at all of those things that you need to be able to do. And not just what you need to be able to do, because obviously 1 is about action, it's also about how you need to move more greatly into that state of being if that's what you need. How can you negotiate these feelings that your changes, which 1 is about, and new birth, how can you move into those feelings to be able to really house them and to be able to start living from them in your life? 11 is a psychic number, it's a spiritual number, and it's all about inspiration and motivation. So there's a lot of fast moving energy as well for you this month if you're in an 11. Be able to be bubbly and fun and really just let go and shine, because 11 are the 2 pillars of truth. If you had a 22 for September, then it's like a double whammy of your ability to be able to be successful, and it gives you a higher potential for birthing something as well. So obviously the 4 is industrious and it's about creation at its deepest point, and 22 is about creation on an even higher level. So we're looking at like empire ability. So if you've got any plans and you've been ticking away with them, then this is the month with all of that 1 in the background and the 22s. That's double the ability to connect with others, team play, networking, being proficient, getting good at something, or taking the steps to take something to a whole new level of success. So with the 22 as well, you want to be able to think about the words builder, and you would be a master builder, because that's often what we call the number 22. Richard Branson is a number 22. It's an exciting energy to be in, so it will be an exciting month for you. Think practically though, and keep your feet on the ground, because the 1 energy will demand that of you. I hope this may have been insightful for you in some way. And just to end, here are 2 funny, inspirational and slightly thoughtful cards for you. If someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yeah, probably that's it. That's a good one for us all to remember. And strength. You are hereby declared a strong, resilient warrior of heroic proportions. Enjoy your battles, whatever they are, because you're guaranteed to come through them stronger, brighter, and more compassionate. And based on what I know of mythology, probably with great hair and a six-pack. So have a good month of September, and I will see you another time. If you are interested in any more information about numerology, or you want to come and visit me for a session to find out more about your numbers, then get in touch with me at hannah@lifepathinspiration.com.